51 minutes left. Here's a good question for beginner pianist or those that are aspiring. What piece should you learn to play first? That's a good question. That's a good question. My first piece that I played for wasn't even a classical piece. That wasn't even my first piece. So when we talk about pieces, my actual first piece this was my first piece. You guys can probably tell by the way I played that piece that it was one of my first pieces, but it wasn't a written piece of music. It wasn't a written piece of music. I don't think that I even wrote that piece down. It was various tutorials. There's a piece called Tender Love by Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, and you guys have also seen me do other pieces by them. You know, they do a lot of writing for Janet Jackson, and they actually wrote that piece. I think they're phenomenal producers. I think it was Terry that wasn't a pianist, if I have the story correctly. Okay, so yeah, we're going from C minor to a that's me just looking at the chord structures. But matter of fact, where is this at? But back to the question at hand, and I have 50 some odd minutes and counting. What was the first, when I sat down with a music teacher, what was the first piece that I learned? Anytime, any place. I'm trying to get situated real quick before I go on. C major, G major. I think my wife wrote this one. I understood just because. Okay, here we go. 1, 2. I like to keep these stapled up. You and I learned that one. Well, the first piece that I learned, actually the first piece that she sat in front of me was a piece called Georgia on My Mind. That was actually the first piece. I'm trying to get to the second piece real quick. So bear with me. We'll put that together with this. Just because in time. I'm missing pieces of this. I hate when I'm missing pieces of written music. But we'll find it. Don't worry, bear with me. Human nature, blah, blah, blah. That minuet in G minor was not the first piece that I learned. This Christmas is already stapled. I get lonely. I get so lonely. Wow. Okay. Piano part. Okay, so this is the one. I'm like, where are the words at? There are no words because this is just a piano part. Trying to get you guys honest answers here before I go on. Just bear with me. This piece is called Bourrée, and I didn't even learn the piece, but that's what my piano teacher sat down and instructed me to play. And like a dreamer, I really wanted to play what I wanted to play. As you will too. You want to play music that gives you enjoyment. And I got a couple of pieces here. Bourrée, Edelweiss, in the key of B flats. So if you're sitting down and you're not well versed with your keys, and I hate to recommend this, but they have, it's kind of like if you look at this Billy Joel book, and he is playing in the key of C. Remember, we discussed this earlier today where we're going with a, I'm sorry. Some sounds off. There's no better way. Sounds wrong. It was wrong. You see how your ears will eventually, the more you sit down by music, you're gonna be like, something sounds wrong. Your ears are gonna tell you, your ears should at least tell you that you're playing. There you go. That's in the key of C. And if I look through his whole entire book, B flats, let me see what we got going on here. B flats, songs in B flats. You want to pick out relatively easy pieces, and you want to progress. All the other stuff that you guys see me do, that's ear training right there. That is ear training. But the first piece that she sat me down with was a piece called Georgia on My Mind. And we played it in such a simple fashion because she was trying to teach me hand independence. And hand independence, I didn't think I was going to get it at first. Because you're used to playing CCM. That's not even, those are hands doing different things. That's not even hand independence. Hand independence became something, it just hit me one day. But back to the topic at hand, what piece should you learn how to play first? Of course, we want to play music that we can relate to. And like I was saying earlier, sometimes we've got to be disciplined and get off of that music and start playing some, pieces that we don't necessarily want to play. I call them boring pieces. But the boring pieces, that's not necessarily a boring piece, but you want to play. I would say classical music, easy pieces. First one that she sat me down with, besides this Georgia, and she made me count. Anyway, she sat me down there, and as you guys can see, I apparently don't have the timing together yet on that. So you're gonna be like, well, if you didn't have the time together on that, how did you? How did you get from not getting the timing correct on what she gave you to what you just played? Because that's the talent part right there. The skill part right here is actually doing what she told me to do. And we used to do drills like this. Minor 7, but we used to do drills like this, and it's so important to develop that, playing what's actually in front of you. And even if you got to slow it down, so. So, pause that for a minute. If you run into an issue with that one, just play your melody again. That's what we're doing. So we go with the 4 counts. And then we're gonna go back to the. So. And we're gonna go with a C7 with a sharp 5, and we're not gonna even get there yet because she just taught me on root notes. And then we begin to count over again. Same thing with the. So now I'm into just finding it. see, and my thing was timing. Apparently, my thing was timing. So that was the first piece that she sat me down on, was just Georgia. Back to home. So that was the first piece that she actually set me down on and played. Another piece that she set me down was something called Bourrée, which is and there's more easy pieces. So so we're gonna go with the G sharp. So anyway, you want to sit down at pieces that's going to challenge you. You also want to sit down at easier pieces that progress. That was the second piece that we sat down at. A third piece was Edelweiss, and we have Edelweiss in a 3/4 signature. There is no treble clef, and a lot of this is basically based off of what I feel. And me having the music ADD that I had, I did something totally different. So I think I remember it now. I think I remember. There it is. And that's where the talent kicks in at at the same time. So she sat me down at relatively easy pieces. My music ADD sometimes went in a different direction because I was hearing different things in the music. Anyway, so what piece should you sit down and learn? Um, Relatively easy pieces. Don't do what I do sometimes, which I bounce from piece to piece. And then if you guys go back through my channel, you'll find me playing some really amazing music. And then I can't remember it to this day. I can't remember. I set out, I forgot one piece that I played, and I was like, that's really amazing. What was it? What was it? What was it? Sandy Patty and what was his name? What piece was it? Think you're wondering where I've been. Babe, who sings that song? I think you're wondering where I've been. Billy Caldwell. It was a piece that Billy Caldwell wrote, and I played it so beautifully. I was amazed that I sent it to my wife so I could easily find it. Don't know how I did it. I believe I've had the sheet music somewhere, and I pulled it, and did what I told you guys not to do. Gave it a couple looks over, and I was like, yep. It's a tough question, but play something simple. This Edelweiss is simple. At its core, it's simple if you don't do what I do. Simple enough, right? Back to the Edelweiss. And partially memory kicked in. So let me read it let me play it how it's written so I can tell you guys, give you good habits. Slow it down. There's a cadence. Letting on both the F on F7. Remember, when I'm just taking the root note of the bass chord, read it. See, my memory, because I have the bad habit of playing by ear, which is a good habit. So if we're going to go to small and wide, which starts on C, A, we go down to D, There it is. So we got an F minor 6. I'm actually on the 5. B. Make it minor. So that was a simple enough piece. That was a simple enough piece. Now once you memorize the piece, you can kind of get your rock forward. You can't get it, slow it down. You look happy to meet me? So I'm, just going back and forth on something that's very, very easy to do. Very easy to do. And it's one, not treble clef, not bass clef. You have your chord changes. If your teacher explains to you at the top of your paper, and those are actually guitar chords, but I'm reading them as piano chords. So that's what I'm doing in the bass. And so I'm keeping up with the tempo. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. So it's in 3/4, so it's like a waltz. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So all those techniques that I just did with the counting of the 1, 2, 3. As you're playing, you're trying to get your timing going. You should be doing your counting. So that's your 3/4 time. If you have a keyboard that has a counter on it and a metronome, as this one has, take my glass. I need more light in this room. As this one has, where's that function button? Execute function. This has the counter on it where category, normal speaker, demo, left part, right part, metronome, boom, time signature numerator. So your numerator is going to be, you can actually set your counter here, and your denominator, time signature numerator, dominator. So you can actually, when you hit the start button, or so let's see if we could change that. That's not 3/4 timing. That is not 3/4 timing. Function. And this keyboard, by the way, is a Yamaha DGX 6 60. B as in boy. Okay, so now we have our time signature set. We can exit out of here and you should be able to hit your metronome. There it is. See, the ticking doesn't. So you want to basically it's always suggested that you practice with the metronome so you can improve on your timing. So anyway, back to the topic at hand. What piece should you learn to play first? If you sit down with a piano teacher, she is going to play what she recommends that you should play. Don't be like me. Don't be like me. Don't be like me and don't be like me and just go off on a tangent. Sit down and pay attention to what she's telling you to play. And hold your horses. They said El DeBarge was when they sat him down, he played so well by ear that it was hard to train him. It was hard to train him on how to actually sit down and play. And that happens to a lot of people. It's hard. So you want to actually have the discipline to sit down and learn a piece and learn it in its entirety and keep playing it till you play it in its entirety. Without doing that, don't do you. You want to play the piece into its entirety. Because when you start going into the colleges and the music universities and getting accepted into these schools, they're going to sit down, piece of paper, and they're going to say play. And if you can't play, you don't get accepted. Plain and simple. You got to go back and work on your craft some more. I'm coming. Give me 2 more minutes. You got to go back and work on your craft some more. So have the discipline to sit down. Don't do you. Do what the music is, instructing you to do. Do what the music is instructing you to do. And we'll talk about those chords that I'm just playing right now. Some Michael Jackson Rock With You. That's how it's actually written too. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Peace, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, Shabbat Shalom to you all, you guys, and happy Hanukkah.